I've never done long form audio, so I wanted to jump into it, or like a long form video. A little bit of an introduction of who I am. So my name is Clayton Carpenter. I graduated with a communications degree. I'm fascinated with relational and organizational studies, so the idea of culture and how things interact and relate to create essentially the world around us. I'm most fascinated by things that create identity. The human experience is just utterly fascinating. I've climbed a few ladders in my life. I've gotten pretty proficient at pool. I've gotten proficient at jiu-jitsu before I got injured. And identity to me is extremely fascinating. And so I'm going to use that. I'm going to play around with that. And I want to learn a little bit of long form video. And one way of doing that is also taking a challenge, maybe like a 30-day challenge, or right now for the month of January, my wife got me Procreate. And so in doing that and working with that, I figured I would learn how to draw. When I was younger, I was fascinated with drawing. I did it a little bit, but nothing too seriously. Definitely not to the extent of Procreate, like, let's be honest. And so I'm messing around with Procreate, and I wanted to give a little introduction, kind of where I was, and then after 2 lessons, where I'm sitting now. So this is an example of my very first just off-the-cuff drawing. It's not very good. You can tell that there's it's needs some work. And then I went through during this program that I'm doing, and at first he teaches a little bit of line work. He hasn't gone into it yet. And one of the things that, for me to learn something, you have to go through 4 stages. So the 4 stages of learning. There's unconscious competence, which essentially just means you don't know anything. And so that's where I'm at. I'm playing, I'm messing around. I'm just trying to figure out what I don't know. And line work is one of the things that has come up. Colors and shading, color theory, I just went through and learned that. Not a clue what that was. A little bit of line work, need more help with that, but I think that will come with further into the course. So I just finished color theory, and this is where I'm at. Now take it with a grain of salt, because in showing you this, he did set up the line work in the background sketch, and then I had gone in and worked on the shading. So imagine that the bell peppers I'm about to show you are essentially flat colors. No shading whatsoever, but there is some line work in there that shows the different ridges of the bell pepper. Now this is where it's at now. Making sure I can see, you can see. Not bad. I mean, it's a bell pepper. It needs a little bit of work, but I think I'm going to get some good progress in doing this. And one of the reasons that I want to do this is because I've lost a lot of appreciation for art. I've gone into the self-help. I've gone into the optimization of myself and trying to be the best version of myself. But that has come with a bit of a cost. I've lost, or a little bit of a loss, because I've lost art and appreciation of the art. And so working on drawing, and I'm also creating content, is me diving into more creative aspects of myself, so that at the end of the day, I can get in touch with those things. I grew up and was in that age where it was you just bury your emotions. And I've noticed while doing art, you got to kind of dig into those things. You got to feel those emotions, because they'll help you understand, oh, what is the warmth of this photo, or what is being felt through this art. Video creation has been especially challenging for that, because if you're trying to communicate something with intent and you do so in a way that's monotone, which is how I did it at the start, it's not received very well. And so essentially this year I'm trying to dive in and get more in touch with my authenticity, and to do so, I think I have to dive into all of the feelings that I've repressed. So here's to a cool 2026. this next month, this next challenge is going to be me diving into different art mediums and trying to get better. So I'll document probably one long form. No, I won't probably. I'm working on better language. Every weekend I'll do one 5-minute long form conversation or video where I go over what I've been working on with this challenge of art. It'll probably take me throughout the week to get to that finished product. So I'll show the couple things.